Good morning, this is Ladies G, creating from a budget. I'm trying a recipe that I've been thinking about for a while. It's just something simple. Um, I'm gonna use some ground beef. Already got it started. All I did was just took some ground beef and just pump it up in the skillet. I'm adding just a little salt. I don't want to use too much salt in this because I will be using some Creole seasoning. This stuff is very good. I mostly use this in everything I cook. So I'm just going to use this. And just sprinkle just a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon of it, 1 teaspoon and a half. I always use accent. I always like enhancing my flavor. Use some black pepper. Now, if I was making this Creole, I would use some red crushed pepper. But this one, I'm not going to be using that. Some parsnip flake. I think I use this in everything. It's good. Maybe I can have a teaspoon of that. Now, like I said, this is just a little quick meal. If you have some extra rice left over from a meal, and some gravy, I would be using this meat and some homemade gravy that I had made, and I had some left over, so I had froze it. So I took it out the refrigerator, right in the freezer, let it go, and I just added that to a pot to the side, likewise over here. And I'm going to be adding this ground meat into that gravy. Okay, I reduced the heat just to show you all what I was doing. So I'm going to turn the heat back up. Like I said, it's just something that you could create. Like I say, for my budget, when you're trying to save money and yet still be healthy or eat healthy, this would be a great idea. Or something like if someone come home, you got to like come over, or you have some company, or your grandkids may come over, visit, or just you just may want to get up and just create something for yourself for lunch. I'm just gonna let this cook. Okay. I'm cooking some fresh rice over here, just in case what I have don't be enough. Okay, I'm coming back over into my gravy. I had cooked some smothered chicken, and I had this left over, so I didn't want to throw it away. That wouldn't be budgeting right. So I decided to store it just for a later day. I'm just turning that down just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer this meat over to the gravy. I don't want it cooked so hard in when I'm browning this meat because I want the taste of the meat to get into the gravy. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to transfer it over likewise and just add this in. And I didn't use too much of the hamburger meat because I already knew how much gravy I had left. It may be enough for like 3 or 4 servings. It all depends how much you eat. I already had some onions, cut onions, some red, yellow, green bell peppers. And I also had some green peppers as well. Okay, I'm going to turn this back up. Because I'm ready for the cook through now. And as you see, this is simmering real good. And if you'd like to see how I make my homemade Southern gravy, that's me request, and I do a video on that. Like I said, a lot of people make their gravy different ways, and trust me, I have tasted different gravy in the past, and I have tasted some good gravy. So this is how I've been making mine for years. And the same thing for like meatloaf. I always make my gravy the exact same way because I like a certain taste on it. I don't want to just create something that don't taste good and talk about it. That's not good, right? So turn up some more. Now let it start cooking. I do want to get a hard boil on here. Because I like my meat seasoned real good. You know how sometimes you can eat food, you can taste the seasoning on the gravy, but the meat have no seasoning on it? I don't like that. I like to have mine seasoned throughout the meal or the dish that I'm serving that day. Like I said, I'm just only using this for a taster. Creating this simple meal for my family just to come in and just taste and tell me what they think about it. And once again, you could eat this with a baked potato, an oven baked potato, or just boil. So mashed potatoes, it's your choice. Like today, I'm just gonna just doing mine with the rice. And the rice is coming real good. Now, I don't like overcooked rice. I'm very picky about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce this heat. And lay something down. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to reduce this heat just a little bit. You know, you can cook it for years. You know exactly how much water to add to your ingredients onto your dish, or how much seasoning. You kind of like eyeball it. For those of you that don't know how to cook rice, and I think it's just a few people that don't know how to do that. I may took like a little cooked rice, and I added it in some boiling water. Sometimes I do put a pinch of salt in my water when I cook my rice, and sometimes I don't, because my blood pressure is real. So since I serve other people, I cook for other people in my home, you know, I just alternate it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it up here, because I do want this to slow cook, like so. I turn it down, and what it's going to do is going to slow cook there. Then I'll rinse it, and it'll be ready for my butter. See how this coming out? My meat is just, it's coating well into the gravy. Top it here, like so, because I want this to simmer real good. And I'll come back and show you the finished product of it.